Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here at Grandma's Games Lab. I am hanging out with a friend today who I will bring on in just a moment because I thought, well, you know what? We did have fun playing cribbage the other week, but the first workshop we tried out didn't really do what we thought it was going to do. The second one worked a little bit better, and then I thought, let me do a little more. Let's go a little bit further. Since this is a games lab, and the whole point to working in a laboratory is to experiment with things, to break them down, find out their constituent parts, and figure out how they're put together. And because I'm trying to bring together games, brains, and histories, and how games affect our brains, and how all of that affects history. So, yeah, I thought let's break down cribbage a little bit more since it's a game I really love and Elaine really loves to play it. Um, Let me head over to the demo lab. A beep boop. And let's see if our experimental Discord voice chat works. Hello, Elaine. Okay.
Hello, Grandma.
There's Elaine. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit delayed, isn't it? Um, so we have to deal with our technical moments here, but so Elaine learned to play cribbage early on in life. I learned in college. But hey, Elaine, let me give you a hot minute here in the forefront and talk about how you learned to play cribbage. Okay, looks like we might have more technical difficulties than I expected. Okay, were you talking? I couldn't hear any of that.
Ow,
Oh.
ow.
Hello.
Y- yes, I was talking.
I'm so sorry. Apparently, if I have Discord deafened, it won't pick you up at all.
Not sure what's happening.
No, that was a me thing, not understanding the interaction between Discord and OBS, because this is an
Ugh.
experimental thing. So let me do that one more time. Let's start one more time on, hey, Elaine, tell me how you came about learning to play cribbage. Go.
I learned to play cribbage with my grandparents on my dad's side of the family, and we would take turns playing the game. By playing with my grandma's sister, my great aunt, she would steal points all the time, and it was just something I looked forward to all the time.
Yeah, and that's something we can talk about today as one of the mechanics of cribbage is a system called muggins, where depending on who you're playing with, they can just absolutely, if you fail to mark down points that you're entitled to mark, they can just be like, yeah, if you're not going to take them, I am, and steal your points. So, that's not something you really want to do to a beginner unless you are just really going to be that, well, let's just throw them into the lake. They'll figure out how
Mm-hmm.
to swim. Okay. Yeah, so note to self, if I deafen Discord, it deafens the voice chat channel through OBS as well. All right. Good, good, good. Well, then I should let's see, where is Tabletop Simulator? It's right there. Okay, let me just double check that it's coming through The Patreon, yes, and it's coming through the YouTubes. Okay, the Patreon just has an embed, so it's going to be definitely delayed a little bit. Okay. The audio stream bitrate is low, according to YouTube. I don't think I could change that on the fly, YouTube. Pretty sure that's something that OBS just does all by itself. No, audio bitrate is 160, my love. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's just play a game. I'm going to move this over here. Or not. Here we go. Let's just throw this out of the way for a minute so we can see the cards. All right. I think we are ready to play. Why is OBS saying go live? I don't know. Okay. Now let's see if I have the icon. We're going to start out with Elaine being the dealer, and we will be playing with open hand. Yes, okay. I see a cursor on the screen. That means we're good to go. So basics on cribbage. There are 3 phases of play. The first phase has to do with the deal and the crib, where each player in a 2-player game gets 6 cards. Oh, here, we'll skip that. Yeah, let's just carry on. All right. And then, so what you need to do is reduce your hand to 4 cards. You're only allowed to play the game with 4 cards. So Elaine is going to flip over her hand and play with an open hand. And you might have a right click that allows you to distribute them. I'm not sure if that's one of the right click functions or not. Still, also, I'm still learning how to use Tabletop Simulator. So since Elaine is the dealer, she will get the crib. And we'll talk about what that does afterwards. It's basically an extra scoring hand for the dealer. So whoever gets to be the dealer gets an extra special treat where they get to score 2 hands, but they only get to play one of them. So it's just, you know, kind of like how people use free parking in Monopoly, but this is baked into the game. So strategies for what you throw into the crib. If it's yours, you want to throw in some points. If it's your opponent, you want to try not to give away points. So if you look at my hand, you can see, I don't know, Elaine, can you see my hand at all?
No, I can't.
Okay. There we go. Can you see him now? It'll take a few moments in between.
Yes.
Okay. So what we want to look at, I'm going to be giving cards to Elaine for her to use in her scoring at the end of the game. I do not currently have any 15s except for these 2 plus this. So I would want to keep the run anyway. And these two could make a run for someone if they had a 5 or an 8. But sometimes you have to take your chances. These will be the best cards for me to play in the play phase. But for now, I am going to take these two and put them in the crib for the dealer. And then the dealer will do the same. They're going to pick 2 cards from their hand.
So for me, my hand does not have a lot of points in it, and I want to make sure that I can peg well so when we count the cards. So what I'm going to be attempting to do is give myself points in the crib.
Perfect. So what's your best avenue for that? You don't actually have a run. So you're going to drop your pair in there. That's a good call. Aces are always low in cribbage. Okay, and here endeth the first phase of the game. The first phase is the deal and the crib. And then what we do here is we run a quick cut and we flip over a card. That card will be used at the end of the game. It doesn't mean a darn thing right now. Since Elaine was the dealer, she has Kevin, our little dealer icon there. She... Is that right? Do I want that up there? Okay. I get to play the first card. So I don't want to bait anything. In the scoring phase, you get points if you make a total of 15. If you have a run of 3 cards, not necessarily played in the same order. We'll show all of those things off in play. But I think I would... probably bait my opponent to play a 10-pointer. All face cards plus the 10 are... Now, she can see my cards, so she doesn't need to do that. When you can feel free. Open hand is open hand. But if my opponent were to play the king, then I could play the 2 and get points for 15. Does that make sense? All right. Anytime you get to a total cards played of 15, okay, there's a king, which Elaine would say, for 13. You always announce the total of the cards on the current board play. And then now I have my little secret 2, da da da, and I play a 2 for 15. And I'm just going to put you out of the way. I don't want to play with 3 pegs. So I mark 1, 2, because the total score on the board is 15. We keep going. We just can't go past 31. So Elaine gets to play, but she has a special card too. Which she's choosing not to play. So that's for 22. I really thought you were going to go for that 2 for the pair.
And I would play this. Oh, duh.
I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, you may.
I did not even see it until you mentioned it.
Oh, okay, good, good. No worries. That's why we're playing open hand. So mark your 2. Wolfie Kohaku, how are you?
But that would also get...
Yeah, just... And so we are now at 17. So I have no reason not to bump this up. We simply cannot... Why are you doing that? Don't do that. We simply cannot go over 31. So I'm going to play a 10. Our current total is 17. That puts us at 27. And again, why you announce the total on the board every time you play a card, because that's not what this is for. This is for special combos.
Which makes that a go.
Okay, and that means when your opponent calls go, that says, I don't have any cards that I can play that would keep us under 31. So if they played the 7, it would be 34. If they played the 9, it would be 36. Those numbers are both over 31. You can't play them. So, Wolfie, if you want to ask any specific questions, you may. We're going to just keep running through the game and totally fine. The thing is, when you get to a go at 27, I have a card that can be played. I can't just hold on to it and use it for the next hand. If you have a card that can be played and keeps the total at or under 31, you must play that card. I must play my ace. That's 28. And then I say for last card. Since my opponent already called go, I know they can't play anymore. So once go has been called, if I can play more, I play one. If it's last card, I get a single point. If it's 31, I get 2 points. But this time it's just last card. Last card gets a single point. There's a whole lot of nomenclature and terms that you use in cribbage that you don't use in other games. Elaine, I'll let you describe where you're going. Oh, hang on. I have someone at the door. One moment, please. Please pause. I'm back, but I cannot hear Elaine.
I have a 9 and a 7, and I will play those. That does not give me any points for playing, except for the last card.
Okay. I don't know why Discord decided to be weird. Okay. I might just have too many things open for OBS to do its thing. And you can also see in here where Elaine left a gap between the first hand and the second hand. And that's just one of the gameplay things to do. Since you might do several plays, every time you get to a go and last card or a 31, then you leave a little gap when you start the next play, because you will continue to play until all 4 cards in your hand have been played. The peg holes on the side, these are for scoring special things while we go back and forth. So if you score a 15, you'll score some points. If you score a run, you'll score some points. If you get a pair, you'll score some points. All of those things get put in the pegging phase. Yes, we're using phrasing. Yes, this game has existed since the 17th century. Yes, pegging may also have meant then what it means now, because if anyone has read Chaucer, it's entirely possible. But I see that, Wolfie. Thank you. But yes, we will continue to use the word pegging here. I taught middle school. Yes, I had to say Uranus when we taught the planets. You just keep going. I know what it sounds like. And off we go. So, since Elaine was the dealer, I get to score my hand first. Now this card comes into play. Finally, the cut card that gets flipped over comes into play. How do you score a hand? Same thing as the other scoring. You can get points for a 15. So I have 10 plus 3 plus 2. That's 15. So I can score 2 points. 1, 2. But I also have an ace, 2, 3. Aces are always low. So 1, 2, 3. You get a point for each one of these. So I can have 1, 2, 3. Oh, but look, the ace plus that 9 is 10, and these two are still 5. So that's another 15. Now, you don't have to score them one at a time like I'm doing here. As you get used to the game, you can score them all in a group, confirm with your opponent, and then mark your pegs. That makes it go faster, but right now we're in kind of a learning phase, so let's keep it simple. All right, that's all of my stuff, and now Elaine, as the dealer, gets to score her in play hand and then finish up by scoring the crib.
Now, I got lucky with this hand because of the 9 flipped, but otherwise I would have had no points. But with the 9 flip, I get 2 points. That's for a pair.
Okay, 2 points for a pair. Now, please, it's a very slow race. The whole point to the pegboard is, and why Cribbage became such an incredibly popular game on submarines. It became basically the official game of submariners because it's very easy to walk away from the game. I'm just going to pop that little card right there. Do some cleanup. All right, Elaine, you go ahead and talk through your score.
And again, I got lucky because of the 9 for the flip, because I have a 15 from the 9 and the 6 here. And then I have a 15 in the hand from 7, 8, 9, and the 6 here. So that's 2 15s and a pair from the 2 aces. So this is a total of 6 points.
Yeah, so you can see when I was throwing in that 7 and 6, my thinking was, well, if they get an 8 or a 5, they'll get a run, and that'll be a lot of points. But boy, Elaine got a whole lot more points than you can predict. And again, one of the beautiful things about cribbage. I'll take Kevin, thank you. Welcome home, Kevin. So it's a little hard to see on the board here where the pegs are. I kind of just prefer white pegs. That was cute of them to make them colored, but they become a little challenging to see on the different colors. So you use the back peg to score in front, and that just makes it easier to count in case you lose track and you go 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, wait, it's only 2. You can still see where your previous starting point was. And that's, again, that makes this game very easy to put down and walk away for an hour or a day. Yeah, this was an official pub game as well, Wolfie. You can set this game down for as long as you want, and as long as you know who the dealer is meant to be and where the score left off, you're fine. Okay, and I will now deal. Again, in a 2-player game, each player gets 6 cards. In a 3-player game, Cutthroat, each player gets 5 cards, and then the deck throws a card into the crib. The crib must always get 4. Each player only plays with 4. So in a way, it is a race because the first player to get over 120 points is the winner, and there's 121. So each individual game goes up to 31 as many times as you can. Oh my goodness. Look at all these jacks. Jacks are a special card in cribbage, and we don't have to talk about that immediately because I don't need everything to get entirely too crazy. This is my crib. So I am the dealer. These cards will be mine for scoring at the end of the game. One of the best strategies for stashing your own crib is to give yourself pairs, right? So I am going to give myself this lovely pair of 8s because I don't see them being terribly useful in my hand. As far as if I had a 7, I might be able to do 15s. If I had some other cards, if I had even a 5 in here, the 5 and the 2 plus the 8, any combo of 15. Okay, Elaine, let's head over to you.
For my hand, I'm still going to play as if I can't see your hand. So for my hand, I have 2 jacks, and I have a 10 and a 5. And this is a really good hand for getting 15s. Plus, I have 2 jacks, so I have a better chance of matching the flip card. So I'm going to give the 2 7s.
Right. Not because she otherwise would not
and
know
hope that
what
she
my
doesn't
hand
have
was.
something that gives points.
Now, the perfect hand in cribbage is a hand that by itself is worth 29 points. It has 4 5s and a jack that is in the same suit as the starter card, which will be this one right here. Elaine's going to cut the deck. I'm going to pull the starter card. And if she had 4 5, or is that right? 4 5s and a jack in the same suit as the starter card, that would be 29. Okay, go ahead and do the cut. And that's our starter card. So, to get even more into basic terminology for cribbage, you have a dealer. The person who's not the dealer is commonly referred to as the pone, P-O-N-E, the pone. Since I was the dealer, Elaine gets to play first card. Now we go into the 1v1 play. I'll call these because the delay on the voice will make it take too long. So Elaine is playing a jack for 10. This card does not count for anything until the end. I have one. I'm going to take a risky biscuit and play... Oops, they're all still connected. I'm going to play a jack for 20. So you announce the total in play, and the total in play is always just these cards right here and here. So jack for 20. Yep. Just remember, in this part of the game, you simply cannot go over 30, but you must end up playing all 4 of your cards. And Elaine played a third jack. Oh, I didn't mark the pair. I got 1, 2. I got a pair for that second jack. And then Elaine gets, what is it, 6? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see these little streets right here. They're in groups of 5. So it makes it really easy to count. If you go from this point to this point, that's 5.
Yes, it's 6.
10, 15. And then so she knows she can go 5, 6. It makes scoring very quick as you get further into the game. Wolfie says, so it's a strategy game where you try to give the dealer the worst cards for the crib, as long as it's your opponent, yes. While keeping the best cards for yourself, yes. And best and worst cards change definitions. That's a go for me. I have no cards which I could play that would keep us under 31. We're currently at 30. So I say go, and if my opponent has an ace, they have to play it. And that's also a go for my opponent. So they played last card. You always get a point. If you played the last card in that hand, then you get a point. So since Elaine
and then I get a last
card
because I played the last card.
Yep, there we go. And since Elaine played last card, I play first card. So I will play a queen. Risking the fact that if she has these jacks, she might have a queen. But she's going to play a 5. which is why you don't play a 5 or a 10 as the first card in a hand. Because now she got 2 points. She got to score 2 points for a 15. 15s are special. All right, well, I'm going to be a pain and just go, all right, fine, 25. 10 for 25. So 6 or less is a playable card. You simply get 2 or stay below 31. That's a go. This is playable because we're at 25. So 27, last card. They already called go, so I know I can score last card. Boop. It takes some getting used to, but once you get there, it's very intuitive. So Elaine will play their last card, and you can see this is hand 1, this is hand 2, and this is hand 3. And Elaine only has that card.
And then again, last card for the 10.
Yep, and automatically gets to score that last point. Perfection. I love it when a plan comes together. And Elaine will score her hand first. I'll let you speak. This is gorgeous.
So then that's 3 15s from the 10 and the 2 jacks. The 2 jacks give a pair, so that makes it 8 points. And then I have the jack that matches the flip card, so that's another point.
That's what makes jacks
for 9 points total.
Special. So she's getting a 15-1, a 15-2, a 15-3, 2 for the pair, and then an extra for having the same suit. If you have all your cards in the same suit, you get special things. It's very much similar to a lot of the poker and rummy and gin and all of those same card game type things. Here, we can pull this out of the way. So I don't have any 15s that I can see. Nothing that makes a 5. I have a run, a 10, a jack, and a queen. So that's definitely going to get me 3 points. But no, my jack can't be in the same suit. That's already been done. So yeah, I get 1, 2, 3 points. And I'm playing red. 1, 2, 3. I always end up forgetting. Somewhere around here, I forget what color I am. There we go. And now I'll take the crib. Oh, wow. This makes up for everything. I have a full house. That doesn't actually score for anything. Elaine. This is terrifying. I don't think I've ever had a hand that scored this much. All right, let's do this one at a time, okay? We do, stop it. 15 for 2, 15 for 4. 15 for 6, 15 for 8. 15 for 10, 15 for 12. A pair for 14. And 3 of a kind is worth 6. So that's 20 points on one hand. Elaine, does that sound right to you?
Yes, that's right.
20 points it is. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And that's how quickly a hand of cribbage can change momentum. Okay, Kevin passes to Elaine. And off we go. Yeah, go make some tea, do a little work. Having a physical board and the pegs would make it easier to get used to. absolutely. The kinesthetics of moving the cards around, playing the cards, um, doing the uh, scoring on the pegboard, all of that, it really does help with the whole learning process. I'm sorry you still have no idea what's going on. I really am. I used to pride myself on being a really good teacher, so um, we're doing the best we can with a complex game, but that might not be super helpful. Um, so when I'm looking at my hand here, I notice that I have 10, 2 jacks. Like poker, I could really be holding out hope for a queen, but I only get to keep 4 of these cards. I don't get to keep any more than 4, and the crib belongs to the dealer. So I need to not put pretty scoring cards like the jacks and the 5 in the crib. The 10 and the jack, if a 9 or a queen shows up in the up card here, the starter card, I might be okay. So I'm going to throw the king and the 8 into the dealer's crib. Now Elaine gets to tuck away her own 2 cards. What are you going to choose?
Now, for me, I want to get points and be able to play through the cards. I'm going to pick the 10 and the 7 because I can get 2 15s for the 4 and 2. And
Right.
hope that my opponent puts something for points in the crib for me.
Yeah, hoping there's a 5 somewhere. There's no real good reason to keep a 10 unless you have chances for a 5. If she had a 3 and a 2 instead of a 4 and a 2, that might be different. But yeah, when you're looking at where do I want to score points? Do I want to score points while we're playing? Or do I want to score points do I want to score points in the pegging round while we're playing 1v1, or do I want to score big points at the end where we're done? This early in the game, it's not that big a deal. As you start getting on this third stretch, though, this last little set of streets, you need to be paying attention to the cards you can play here in the pegging stage of the game. Okay. Elaine's the dealer. I get to play first card. I have no choice. I either have to play a 10 or a 5. So I'll get 2 points. If I play a 10 and my opponent plays a 5 to get the 15, I can play my 5 to get 2 points for a pair. It takes a minute to get used to, but it's very similar to the stuff you score in poker. 10 for 10. Okay, a 9 for 19. I need to keep that just in case. I will play a jack for 29 and then just hope that they don't have an ace or a 2. But she does. Since Elaine, right? So we have 10, 19, 29. That's now 31. 31 scores 2 points, not 1. If you get exactly 31, 2 points. All right. She played last card, so I will play first card. And again, I'm going to hope for that 5 pair. This might be terrible strategy. There's someone who plays world-class cribbage going, how dare you? Okay. Elaine plays a 6 for 16. Oh, I hate it. Now I'm playing the 5 for 21. If she has a 10, she's going to get another 31. She doesn't. All right, 25, and that's a go for me because I have no cards left. So Elaine is going to get to score for last card.
I still get 3 points for the run, the 6-5-4.
Absolutely. They, even though they were played in order 6-5-4, they do not have to be. It can be played 6-4-5. And it would still count as a run. In this stage of the game, doesn't matter what order they get played in. So you can actually get things that go 8, 7, 6, 7. It's just, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, that's it. Did you score your last card? You took your point for last card on that one? I don't see it. Ah, perfect. So now we're tied. That happened quickly. I'm not the dealer. I am the pawn, so I will be scoring first.
Yeah, I just took it.
Perfect. I got a lucky break. There's a lot of 15s here. I have a 15 for 2, 15 for 4, 15 for 6, 15 for 8. That's all the 15s. Eight 15s. And then I have 2 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 and 6 is 14. And then I have a pair for 2 more. So I have 16 total. My jacks, neither one of them is in the same suit as the queen, even though both my other cards are. Jacks. So 16 I see as the total. 8 plus 6 plus 2. Discord, are you malfunctioning?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. I think I actually have to go, like, activate Discord every now and then. All right, let me clean up my cards. And now Elaine can do her scoring.
All right, and I have 2 15s, the 9 and the 6, and the 9, the 4, and the 2 for 4 points. Unfortunately, the flip card does nothing for me.
Yeah, that starter didn't help. Now, if this card, if this starter card is a jack, then something else special gets to happen. We'll deal with that when we get there. There's so many things to track. This is a lot of moving parts on a train, but once you get down the basics and once you realize again, it's very similar to the basics of poker.
And I got lucky in the crib. My opponent did help and give me points, so I have 2 points for 15.
Beautiful. And when you accept that the crib basically it often has no points at all. It's a null hand. Having anything in a crib is a really happy moment. Okay, I'll take Kevin.
And Wolfie asked earlier what these are for. They're for how many games you've played.
Oh, thank
So
you, Elaine.
beating the whole game, getting to this point.
Yeah, that's so when you're playing. I didn't know I could just hit deal. I'm sitting there going to the
You
individual
then
colors.
add your how many games you want over here.
Well, that's crazy. I'm still getting used to how to use Tabletop Simulator. Wow!
Oh, man.
Now, keeping in mind, aces are always low. So the ace would not tag on to this royal run here. The ace always has to be a low card. So that's still a 5-card run. And Elaine is going to have to give up something.
No, it wouldn't.
This is my crib.
This is also why you do not do the flip card before you put points into the crib, because if you do, you can potentially cheat.
Yes. That starter card over here. Good point, Elaine. Thank you. Don't pull that before the crib is set. It might seem like something efficient, but it's not. It has the potential to create a problem for your game. Normally I would put a pair in my crib. It still might be the best thing for me to do. It's a guaranteed 2 points, and the ace and the 9 are going to make a 10, so I still get a 15 for 2 there. The ace is a better card to have in play for the pegging phase when you're trying to get to 31. So is the 3. So if I'm going to look at what cards it's most effective for me to throw in the crib, I'm going to keep this pair and hope that the starter card is a 5 or that my opponent throws me a 5. That's my strategy, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Actually, I'm going to flip these guys. Because they will just distract my poor little ADHD brain. Oh, the closeness. The near misses. All right, I'm dealer, so Elaine gets to play first card. Do you want to slide your cards back or off to the side? Okay. You always do want to try to keep the cards in play right now for the scoring phase very distinct. So if my opponent's going to play a 10, I'm going to play the 5 and get 2 points automatically. Boop. Five for 15. Listening to the two of you play is like when I'm around family and they're doing activities. It's nice and cozy. I love that. So Elaine has played a jack for 25. If I have a 6 or less, I must play it. I do. I have a 3. I'm going to pop that 3 in there for 28.
And that's a go.
My opponent has called go. If I have anything less than a 3, 3 or less, I must play it. So even if I had another 3, I would have to play it. There's my ace for 29. I assume it is still a go. So I will score my last card for 1. Bop. And now I had last card. My opponent goes first. Queen for 10. 9 for 19. King for 29. Has to be last card because I have nothing left. So Elaine gets an automatic 1 point for last card. Hopefully this starts to make sense as you are exposed to more and more hands. Don't forget to take that. Yeah, there you go. I know there's a delay. Please forgive me if I jump ahead. And I'm dealer, so my opponent does get to score first.
I get to count first. I was hoping for a 5 or another face card or a 10, but that didn't happen, so this is 4 points.
The potential there, if this had been any face card or even a 9, there would have been a little bit more, but 4 points, not bad. You get 4 points for 2 15s, which is what I have. I have ace, 9, and 5. Again, aces are always low. Ace, 9, and 5, 15. And then 4, ace, and 9, also 15. So that's 15 2, 15 for 4. 3, 4, 5 is a run. That gives me another 3 points. 4, 7 total. Does that sound right?
No, 4 and 1 is only 5, and 9 and 6 is 15.
Oh, gosh. And that's why you have 2 pegs. Boop, boop. I was thinking about the 4 and 1 with the 10. It's not. That doesn't work. If 5 and ace and 9 is 15, then 4 and ace and 9 cannot be 15, Grandma. Oh, brain. I better pour this cup of tea. Hang on a sec. I've been drinking all this water. Oh. Okay. One moment, please. And again, I think we can point out the importance of just checking in with your opponent. If you're playing a friendly game and you're not intending to cheat, there's every reason in the world that you want to check in with your opponent. Yes, TTT. Red rose, red rose, red rose. That you check in with your opponent just to confirm you're gonna. There's
Or
a
still
lot
points.
of math. Okay. Oh, that was a lucky break. Now I do have a 4, an ace, and a 10. All face cards are worth 10. And that's 15 2, 15 4. 2 for the pair is 6. No jacks, nothing special. Kevin, go home. I had no idea you could just right click and hit deal 6 times. I was sitting there clicking the individual colors. Crikey. Oh, this is one of those hands where everything hurts. My brain hurts. Everything here scores points. And it's annoying. So I have my king and my 5, which is a 15. The king, the 2, and the 3. That's another 15, plus another 15. So this would be the foursome that we want to keep together, right? Except that a 7, right? 5 and 3 is 8. 8 and 7 is 15. Or 7 and 3 is 10, and 10 and 5 is... So these 4 would be another 4 that you could keep. Now I have to look at where we are on the pegboard. We're past the second turn. I'm in the lead. The crib belongs to my opponent. So I for sure do not want to be putting a 10 and a 5 in there, but I think 7 and 5 might be the cards that go in. As much as I hate to throw a 5 in there, these cards right here will be really effective in gameplay if we get over 25. And then that way, if the starter card pops up as a 5, I can still get a point. If it pops up as a 4, it might be even better. Okay, let's see what my opponent would like to do.
Now in my hand I have a dilemma because I have 2 pairs, and I could keep both pairs, but I also want to have points in the crib. And how I do that, I can either put in the set of aces or the set of 10s.
When in doubt, the common philosophy is to throw a pair in the crib. If you're not sure, just give yourself a guaranteed pair. And try not to give
And
one
if I
to your
keep the
opponent.
10s with the jack, I could potentially get a queen or a 9, and that would be helpful. But
The aces can help you in the pegging phase, but
there's no guarantee.
like they're not going to be as helpful as this little combo here.
I'm still
right?
going to do this. I'm still going to put the 2 aces into the crib.
Yeah, I think that's your smart move. Look at her flinging these cards around like a shark. Okay,
And hope for the
Elaine
best.
is the dealer. That's why you keep this out. It's easy to lose track. And again, there's a whole story about a cribbage table that was built for one of the submarines captains, and how it lived on that submarine until like 100 years or some nonsense like that. It's absolutely crazy. Fabulous stuff. What am I going to do? Might as well start with a 3 and see what my opponent does. I can always make a 15 if they play a 10. If they play a low card, maybe I could get some kind of a run. Pairs and 3 of a kind must be played in order. Runs can be played out of sequence. Okay, so that's a 10 for 13. Well, so Elaine, Wolfie is asking from a strategy point, wouldn't keeping the aces work better to do the 31s? Do you want to hit that? I get 15 for 2.
Yes, I'll talk about that. So potentially yes, but there's less of a chance to get 31s from my own experience playing the game than it is to get potentially a queen or a 9 on the flip card, which we have not done yet, Grandma.
Oh. Oh no, what have I done? I tipped the board ever so slightly. Must be pixel perfect. Oh, that's not half bad. All right, so we're at 15, right? So this, again, why you keep these in different locations so you can just go back. Da, da, da. This is a game, and why it was good on submarines, because submarines have to stop what they're doing. When you're in the military, you have a lot of things like this, where you have to stop what you're doing, go take care of stuff in a crisis, and then you can come back and enjoy later. We're at 25. I cannot play this, because that takes us over 31. I must play this. So we're at 28. Is that a go for you?
And that's a go.
A go means if I have anything less than 3, I have to play it. I do not. I'm going to take my 1 point for last card, and Elaine plays a 10. I'll drop the king. That's for 20. So Elaine gets 26 and last card. So last card is always 1 point. And Wolfie, that's the other thing. The 31s are great if you can get them because they're worth 2 points. But if you don't get exactly 31, you're just going to get 1 point for last card. Elaine's the dealer, so I need to score first. And let's get that taken care of quick like a bunny. That's 15 for 2, 15 for 4, 15 for 6. 2 for the pair is 8. My total is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Is you're good?
Yep, that's right.
Nice.
And then I've got the pair for 2, and then from the 5, 15, 2, 15, 4, 15, 6, for a total of 8.
Oh, happy day. I just received my card title. Oh, 3 weeks after I paid off the car. Bless him. Okay. I see 2 pair for sure.
With this, I do not have any 10s aside from the 2 5s together, so I end up with 2 pairs for 4 more points.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, isn't it? When you have 3 5s, it's still only worth 2 points. Well, for the 15. You can't rearrange the 5s and get 15 in multiple combinations of the same 3 cards. Okay. And now we start stage 1. Do the deal, make the crib. The crib is mine. I have a pair. It will be in my best interest to take the pair and throw them in the crib because I didn't see any 15s or anything else. The 2 of them added together was still only going to be 4. So, yeah, not a whole lot of love. What do you have up there? Pretty. Ow. Choices.
So again, I'm trying not to give points to my opponent, trying not to give a 5. So while I could keep the 4 and an ace, I'd be giving a 5. It makes more sense to keep the 4 for myself and give the 2 aces, even though that gives 2 points, I'm not giving a 5, which gives the potential for so many more points.
Yeah, except that, the likelihood of aces, again, it's similar to the 31. The likelihood of aces being the key to a 15 is not that common. All right. You get first card. Oh, cut. And now we go into phase 2. That's what we're talking about with the strategies. Three phases of the game. The first phase is the deal and crib. The second phase is the pegging phase. Snicker, snicker. I turned a jack. That means that's the first time that's happened. I get 2 points. Instantly. If the dealer turns a jack as the starter card, jacks are special. That's the other beautiful thing about this game, is it has so many special things. 15 is special. Jacks are special. Fire at will, Gridley. Let phase 2 begin. And again, keep in mind, this card won't mean anything until phase 3. Okay, my opponent played a queen. What is her strategy? I don't have a 5. I don't want to lead into a run. If she has a king and I play the jack, I'm in trouble. If I play the king and she plays a jack, she'll get those points. So part of cribbage is about how to screw your opponent. So I'm going to throw a 9 in there, because chances are good she has a 5. So 9 for 19. And a jack for 29. I would need a card that's 3 or less. Elaine, give me a second. I needed to just double check something. Flushes. Do flushes count during the pegging phase or only in phase 3? So if you have 3 cards of the same suit, if you'd played a jack of spades, would you be able to score, or a jack of spades, and then I played a 10 of spades?
I don't think they count during the pegging phase.
I don't think we ever did either.
I've never played it that way.
I've only played it with runs, not flushes during phase 2. So we're going to keep that as a house rule as long as you're good with it. I just suddenly got paranoid. It's like, oh no. I don't want to screw that up. So that's 29. I do not have a 3 or less. I call go. So if my opponent has 3 or less, they must play. All right. You had last card, so that's your point. All right. They had last card, so I get first card. And they got a queen and a jack. I'm guessing there's a 5 up there. Even if I couldn't see her cards, I would guess there's a 5 up there. So I am going to play a 7. Again, you don't want to lead your opponent into getting a good score. So 4 for 11. Oh, no. I have to play a 10, which puts us at 21. 21 is also a number you don't want to achieve, because it means your opponent can just play a 10 for 31 and get 2 points. But she's not doing that. She has a 5 for 26. I cannot play this card, so I call go. She played last card, so she will get the go point. Last card point. And a lot of it, again, why I'm calling out every single tiny detail, is the more you hear the nomenclature, the more comfortable you get with how freaky this game is. 1 card, last card, it's a go, I get 1. Boop. Okay. You get to score.
All right, I get to count first. So I have a queen and a jack. I have 2 jacks that match, so that's a pair. And I have a 5, so that's 3 15s for a total of 7 points.
Would that not be 8? 2 for the pair? Elaine? 15, 6 plus 2 for the pair. Would you not have 8 instead of 7?
Yeah, I did forget the pair. I would have 9 instead of 7.
9, where did the 1 come from? Sorry, I had flipped to a different screen real quick. So I saw 15, 6, and 2 for the pair. Two, 4, 6, and a pair. Was the 1 from the... No?
No, you're right. I messed myself up.
No worries. Hey, just did that. Not a problem. And chances are good in a game that goes all the way to 121, 1 point here or there isn't going to make a big difference, which is why muggins can just be, you know, a hilarious thing to do. So in scoring my hand, I got nothing times nothing, carry the nothing except the jacks for 2. Pair for 2. Oh, that turns out lucky, because that's 5, and that's another 5. So that's a 15, 2, a 15, 4. 2 for the pair, 6, 2 for the pair, 8. And again, you can see on the board why these streets are so important, because you can just look, you're on the second peg. So the second peg is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. It keeps the scoring really easy, and it's another reason why this is such an excellent game to teach young people who are just working on their math skills. There's so many different types of math you have to keep track of. And it just really improves let me just coin graphoplasticity. We'll take dysgraphia, which is people, or no, dyscalculia. Calcuplastis, I don't know. Doesn't work. It worked the other way. Yeep. It's my opponent's crib. I don't want to throw away this pair. But at this point, I'm past the turn. So putting things in the crib, even if it goes to my opponent, is not as important as making sure these cards will help me in phase 2 better. because the 8 and the 2 is a 10. So if the starter card is a 5, I could still get some 15. That also means this pair here would really score them well. That's a 7. I still get lots of good stuff. Excellent stuff, actually. If that card were to be a 7, that would be the best possible luck I could have. I'm taking chances. Okay, Elaine, you want to talk through yours?
For me, the dilemma is if I could have an 8 here, that would be great, but I'm unsure of that. And then with this, these could play well in the pegging round, but there's no guarantee I'll get the 8, and I want points in the crib, so I'm going to put this 9 and 6 in there for the 15.
Yeah, and this is smart because keeping cards, usually keeping any cards that are like 6 and below are really great for the pegging phase, because those are the cards that get you from 25 to 31. Okay, you are dealer, so I get to play first card. I'm gonna do Risky Biscuit and play the 8. Now this works out for me because if my opponent runs bait right into the 15, then look what I have to follow up with. I will play 15 for 2. There you go. I'm going to play a 6, and now we have a run of 3 cards. I get to peg that immediately. So 1, 2, 3. If my opponent throws down here with a 9, they get 4 points. It does not have to be in order consecutively for a run. So we're at 21. And that's why you don't want to get to 21, because she gets 31 for 2. Beautifully played. All right, we'll start lead off with a 6 for 6. And an ace for 7. I'll play a 2 for 9. And my opponent gets 2 for the pair, which they get to mark immediately. That was 3 because they get last card. Perfect. And that's what happens, is you just start bundling things into single scores like that. It starts to go super fast. Oh, helps me not at all. I get to score first. No love for grandma. Yep, nothing here is going to do anything. I get 2 for the pair. Sometimes it just do be like that. Okay, my love, go for it.
And same here, no points here. Time for the crib, which I know that I put at minimum.
You know you're going to get points out of that, which when you're in second place at this point, it is really important. When you are the dealer, you want to pump up that crib. Oh, if only that was a pair of jacks. Four points is
or
what
even
I
the
see.
pair of 6s you had earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, believe me, the thought occurred, but I was like, the juicy idea of getting that 7. And this is why they have to tell you in poker, do not draw to an inside straight. Because you will. You will. You will look at that 5, 7, 8 and go, what if I draw a 6 though? Yeah, so they really have to tell you very specifically, do not. The statistical likelihood of pulling the card you want for an inside straight out of a deck of 52. All right, let's get everybody over here. Sometimes the hands are really pretty and sometimes they are not. The point for me right now is going to keep the best hand that I can play in pegging round because I don't have that far to go. So I'm going to keep these low cards and I'm going to get rid of the high cards.
For me, I have 3 8s, so that's automatically 6 points. And I'm going to keep the 6 just in case a 7 pops up. It's not likely, but if I did, I'd get 3 15s and 3 runs.
Yeah, if she gets an ace.
So I'm going to put the queen and 3 into the crib.
Ace or a 7. That's one place where that can really dynamically change. And that's why I love cribbage and how mid-range cards in cribbage. It's not about all the royal cards and it's not about all the little low-ranked cards. Cribbage is really about these mid-range cards and the combinations they can make. When you have all 4 cards come together that makes a 15, it just feels really good. Well, this will be fun. Shall we cut? Sorry, I got a little aggressive there. Okay, let's see how the pegging phase goes. My opponent throws an 8. I'm going to bait right in. 16 or 15 for 2. My opponent jumps in with 21 for 3. Works out not too bad for me. I might not have a 10 to make a 31, but I can throw this down 27 for 2. I don't get anything to do with the run because it was 7, 6, 6, but I do get 2 for the pair. 1, 2. So
that's a go.
27 is a go. I have to play this because 29 for the last card. There we go. 1. And now it's all you. Eight. 6 for 14. And another 8 for 22. And last card. And this is why your opponent gets to score first. Because when I'm at this point of the game in the last 4 streets, having the deal can seal the game. I see a 15 for 2 and 6
so for my hand, I have the 3 8s, which are 6 points, and I have a 15 from the 9 and 6, so that's 8 points. I am not skunked. Yay!
Not skunked. Yeah, we won't even go into all of that stuff. That's when things get challenging. This is going to be all right. I have 15 2, 15 4, 15. All of these together make 15, right? No. Hang on. 15 2, 15 4. 15 6, 15 8. 2 for the pair is 10. Do you count that as well, Elaine?
Or a total of 10, actually.
10? Okay.
Yep.
And let's get these little babies down. We could get right up to the wire here. Who knows? I could have nothing. 9, 10, nothing. 10, queen, king. That's what you get in the crib. That's what cribs are for. Cribs are a bamboozle. Okay, and now it's Elaine's deal. So Elaine has the opportunity with a good hand and a good crib to take this game away from the lead. I might be in the lead, but this is the kind of game where that can disappear in a hurry. And not really prioritizing correctly. Again, I'm in this final stretch, so my goal is to score as many points in the pegging phase as I can. It's not my deal. So another thing that I want to do is screw my opponent by not putting good cards in the crib. And right now, regardless of my ability to get anything, 9 and 6 is 15. 2 jacks is 2. A jack in the same suit as the starter card gets me another point. These two are probably my best cards to throw in the crib. It would take a minute for them to score some points for my opponent. Oh no. Unless my opponent throws a pair of 4s in her own crib. It's just a thing that can happen.
All right, and then for my hand, I've got the pair of 10s and the pair of 4s. And with the jack, I would like to be able to have the potential for a queen or a 9. So I'm going to keep the 3 and put a pair of 4s into the crib for a minimum of 2 points that I know I have in there.
Yes, and since you don't know what's in the crib, she would have no way of knowing what I'd thrown in there. Okay, you're the dealer. I get to play first card. Wow, how do I want to run this? I think me for my part, I would not play any of my jacks or my 9 because I can't make a run. So I'm going to throw the 6. And then if my opponent throws a 9, I can throw another one for the pair. And a 10 for 16. 9 for 25. 6 or less can play. So 3 for 28. That's a go. Okay, here comes the big hits. A jack for 10. And jack for 20 for 2. And another jack for 30 for 6. There's 5, 6. Oh, and last card. And then 10 for 10. Oh, we didn't cut. Okay. I am not the dealer, so I do get to score first. I have a jack in the same suit as the starter card. That's an automatic 1 point. And then I have a 15 for 2 and a pair for 2. So that's 4 points. And 1, 2, bam, 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 bam. But let's see what happens here. Let's see how close this game is gonna be. Oh, thank you.
And for the fun of it, we'll still count mine.
We have to. I have to see. I'm one of those people. I will pay to.
So with mine, didn't get a 9 or a queen.
Or a
And I ended
5.
up with just a pair for 2 points.
I don't see. Yeah, and I don't see where those 4s actually really would have helped you that much in the pegging phase.
Now, this is really lucky getting the queen and the 1 because the
It
1
is.
matches with the 4s to make 2 5s. So that's 15-2, 15-4, 15-6, 15-8, and a pair is 10.
There. So that was 12-point difference, really. And that's how quickly a game of cribbage can turn tide. And what makes it so exciting and replayable all the time, because you can implement other strategies and you can pause a game and walk away for 3 days as long as you know where Kevin is, and just leave the pegs here. Because this will tell you right now, this will say, the last time I scored 7 points. Nope. 10 points. Wow, brain is gone. But also I need a bio break, so my body is rejecting everything. It's like, brain can do nothing. We have other things to focus on. But there you go. That's more of the drilling down into the verbiage, the special nomenclature that exists in a game like Cribbage, what keeps it special and exciting and new to play, because your brain really has a whole lot of information to grab onto and keep track of. There's a lot of moving targets. The 3 phases of the game have different strategies. The crib is exciting because it really is a big gambling kind of satisfaction where you don't know what's in there. It could be a lot of good stuff. It could be a lot of crap. The phase 2 part of the game, I think, is always my favorite part, just to see the back and forth and then the constant tallying of what number are we on. So, Elaine, I thank you very much. Are you still here?
I had a delightful time. That was really fun.
I love playing cribbage with you. We're trying to find ways to play outside of stream time. Although I might still pop up a stream today. I kind of want to keep playing around in Dunwall. Anyway, if you're not familiar, I also run Grandma Plays a Game. But Grandma's Games Lab is more about drilling down into some of the analog games, drawing comparisons between our analog games and how we explore video games. So when I talk about gameplay mechanics and gameplay loops, what a lot of people instantly think of is video games and CSGO. Thank you for being here, Wolfie. So grateful. And for anybody else who is out there in chat land or Patreon land, appreciate your company. Thank you so much for being a part of this project. It means a lot to me to have this space, to have this community from Grandma Plays a Game who are willing to enjoy this sort of laboratory environment where, you know, we break things down into their component parts and see what's in there. Let's add some water, put it over a Bunsen burner and precipitate out the solids. Then let's set them on fire and see what color fire they make. That's the stuff that keeps everything exciting for me. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we have to do today. Thank you, Elaine, for joining me and for being so patient and such a good teacher. Now I see why little uh, is getting a good education. Parents are primary educators. Um, and yeah, we will come back next Wednesday with
You flatter me.
uh hey, if you guys ever need help with anything, you got me on tap. I'm happy to participate. Um yeah, that's everything I have for today. And next week we'll be back with some more games, brains, and history stuff. I'm going to be looking into some history, and then after that, I want to start looking at more dice oriented games, things like Farkle and Captain Bosun Crew, uh, and other games that are nothing but dice. I think a lot of people already know poker dice, but dice have been around as long as cards, and yeah. So we'll just keep exploring the human experience with games and why games are as important as the food you eat every day. Keep playing more games. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Have a fabulous rest of your day. And I will see you on Wednesdays around 10 a.m. Pacific time. Daylight savings is kicking in all over, so the hours may change. But I do try to keep things posted in my Discord. Feel free to join my Discord. And I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. Bye.